sums up कि यार 2 round हो गए, BCG हो गया, McKinsey हो गया. So like, what was your final learning from whole process of this BCG McKinsey things? And we have already discussed about the differences between the two. But what are the similarities between the two? Like, how are they all similar? And like, there's an kind of a hype or something like the McKinsey interviews are comparatively supportive than BCG in the markets, kind of thing.
Right. So for me, I did not really see a big difference in the pattern of the interviews themselves. I think let's first talk about the similarities and then we move on to what the minor differences were. So I think in terms of like the similarities, I think the way we solve the cases is very similar. So for instance, the only thing which they give you at the beginning of the round is just a problem statement. So the way we solved it was essentially like asking about the problem statement, clarifying every single word, regardless of whether or not you know it, and asking for information upfront so that you do not really start solving a wrong case, because that puts a very negative impression on what you're trying to solve. And having the information upfront is the best thing. So always like make very neat notes, and that's one major takeaway which I had, like even throughout my practice and even through my interviews, making very neat notes so that all of the information that the people give us or the interviewers give us is fit into the right places and we do not forget any of the things. The second thing is having a very structured approach. So let's say even if it's like a very unconventional case and you don't really understand about what is going on and what to do in this case, just trying to map out, like taking some time to yourself, trying to map out as to what should logically be the best case scenario, and then iterating it based on new information which you get, or like modifying based on like what other information you are asking, or like maybe the case has taken a different turn and you have to solve a different thing. So all of these iterations should be incorporated during practice. I think another similarity which I had was like the kind of industries which we had to do, or the kind of mock interviews. So this was something which I learned from my preparation phase as well, that we have to do as many mock interviews with our friends or with our batchmates or with other people who are preparing as possible. Since every interviewer has a very different style. So some people, let's say, might seem disinterested in what you are saying and you might become discouraged. However, they are actually listening to you and they are just checking whether or not you get disoriented. Other people might seem extremely friendly, but they might also be judging you at the same time a lot. So just do not really get discouraged by what the interviewers facial expressions are or what their mannerisms are. Instead, like try to create a best impression on them. And I think this was similar across the board for all of the interviewers which I faced, and even in terms of like the cases, etc., which we got. I think a difference which I had between McKinsey and BCG is that McKinsey focused a lot on personal stuff as well, which is to say that they would poke you and ask you to like elaborate on what your successes were or what your failures were in order to get to know you as a person as well, and that played an equal weightage to the cases. And I think BCG focused a lot on cases and problem solving, and they did not really have like this personal interview round. So I think that was also like a major difference between these two. But apart from that, the whole supportive thing, I do not really see a big difference in those. I think both of the interviewers were extremely nice to me, and all of them were very supportive throughout the cases.
To know more about this video, link is in the description.